Hey guys, this is Gibson Fines, Certified Strength and Conditioning Specialist and Director of Supply Chain here at ANCORE. I've created a mid-season maintenance program for all the golfers out there. This is a combination of general rotational work that can be applied to many sports, as well as sport-specific movements that many of the PGA professionals we work with are using today. Let's get started. This is the Valga split squat. So what we're going to do is set up with the anchor just to our right in a low position on the track mount. We have the What's That strap attached, and what this is going to do is add some inward directional force while we're in our split squat. So we're going to put the band right below our kneecap just like this, and like I mentioned before, this is going to apply pressure inward, so it's going to want to pull the leg in this direction. So by activating the glute, we're going to drive that knee out, and at the same time we're going to drop down into our split squat. So we're in this nice position here, keeping our knees behind our toe. We're going to drop down in a slow controlled motion and come right back up, keeping our chest up nice and high, drop down, applying that pressure outward at the same time, and coming back up. This movement will help with core stability and also generate rotational power that will directly translate into your golf swing. So what we're going to do is start with the What's That strap attached to your anchor at a low position again. We're going to slip the arm in all the way up to the shoulder with the strap, and we're going to rotate to the left. Go all the way around 360 degrees so that the strap is coming out right at about hip level and going right down to your anchor. What this is going to do is pull you gently into the top of what would be your backswing. So just like this, and we're going to rotate back and then come forward with some force. So you're going to go gently back and then pull the hips through and drive off that rear foot. Pull the hips through and drive off the rear foot. In the golf swing, it's important to apply pressure through the back foot and the toe in a lateral direction. So we're going to actually recreate that by attaching to our anchor, clipping into our waist belt here, and taking a few steps out. So similar to that swing where we're going to come back and drive off the inside of the trail foot and out, we're going to do that with our lateral hops. So we're going to get down in that athletic position again, and we're going to do one big jump out, and then we're going to step 1, 2, 3. So again, we're getting that explosive power out, then we're going to activate the glutes, coming back in and controlling that walk back. So we get down in this position, drive out, and then 1, 2, 3, right back out, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Balance and core stability is an important part of any golf swing, and especially for the amateur. So this workout that we're about to do addresses both of those things. What we're going to do is start with your anchor right to the right of you at about hip level. We're going to take a few steps out. We're using our straight bar here. Get down into a staggered stance with that exterior leg forward. You can lock your arms right out in front of you. Keep your back in a nice neutral position with your chest up. So what we're going to do from here is just rotate out and then come back in a nice controlled fashion back to the middle into a neutral position. Rotate out and then come back in, keeping that same spine angle throughout the movement. Again, this will help you have a more controlled swing and also have stability throughout the swing. This is an effective isometric exercise that'll help you build much needed core strength for your golf swing. So what we're going to do is start by laying down. We can grab our tricep rope handles here with the anchor in a low position. And we're going to slide back a little bit. We'll bring our knees up so that our hips are at a 90-degree angle and our ankles are at the same angle. We can keep our arms straight out in front of us, and we're going to keep that position for the duration of the movement. You're going to imagine that you have a bug crawling right between your low back and the floor, and we're going to squeeze it down, and that's why we call these the dead bugs. So from this position, we're going to slowly drop the heel of one leg down and return it back to neutral. The heel of the other leg down and return back to neutral. And we can add a little bit of difficulty, if those are easy for you, by straightening the leg as we go down. So we can come back to here, straighten the leg, tap the heel, and come right back to the center. The whole time making sure that we squeeze your low back down into the ground and make sure that space doesn't open back up. Here's an effective plank variation to add to your golf program. We're gonna have the anchor pulling us from our right side, and we're gonna do this in both directions. We have our RX pad. You can use a yoga mat or whatever will help to protect your elbows down in front of us. And we're gonna get down into a half plank position. So that's this position right here. We're gonna make sure to squeeze our glutes, make sure there's a nice straight line from our shoulder to our hip to our ankles. And we're gonna make sure we have that posterior pelvic tilt. So we're just in a nice stable position here, ready to go into our movement, which will be pulling this handle through and past. We're just gonna floss it underneath us just like this in a nice controlled motion. If you feel like your back is arcing or your hips are going up and down, make sure you reset. You can even go into a kneeling position for a regression and do the same. Mobility is commonly overlooked, yet it should be an integral piece of your golf fitness program. It can help with injury prevention, unlocking your most fluid swing, and longevity inside the game. Here are a few simple movements to help with your mobility. Golf is particularly taxing on your spine and hips. With the next 4 movements, we're going to address those areas with some mobility drills. The first is going to be the cat camel. So you're going to get in a quadruped position, just like this, with your hands right under your shoulders, knees under your hips, and toes in the ground. With a big breath in, you're going to arch your back. Then you're going to breathe out. And repeat. That's creating flexion and extension in the spine, and that's going to be our first movement. The second is going to be a thoracic spine rotation. Thoracic spine is the upper portion of your spine right before you get to the neck, and that is mostly where you're going to be rotating throughout your golf swing. So we're going to get down on our side, have our knees bent up at about a 45-degree angle with our feet together, knees together. We're going to keep our shoulders square in front of us here and our hands together. As we rotate, we want to make sure that our hips don't open up. We really want to isolate that thoracic spine as we rotate. So hands together, we're going to follow that hand up and around as far as we can go while looking at the hand, and then come back in a nice controlled manner. We want to make sure that, again, our hip does not rotate out, and then our legs stay together as we move. The next motion is going to work on our lumbar spine, the lowest portion of the vertebra. So we're going to lay on our back with our knees bent up and together, and our feet together and heels together, close as we can to our butt, arms out, and we're just going to let those knees rock from right, come back up, and left. Each of these movements should be done nice and slow in a controlled manner, and never pushing into any pain points where it feels like you're going a little too far. Back and forth. If you perform those mobility drills before your round, you'll feel a lot looser. And the last one we're going to do is to open up your hips a little bit, because you definitely get them engaged as you're working through your golf swing. So the last movement, we'll get down, position just like this, facing forward with that front knee out in front at a 90-degree angle, as well as your ankle at the same angle. Your back leg should do the same. So again, we have a 90-degree angle at the knee and 90-degree angle at the ankle. What we're going to do from here is rotate. So we're going to lift that back leg up and front leg, and try to get back into that same exact position where those angles are maintained on the other side. So we're just kind of rotating, keeping our chest up in a nice stable position, and landing back where we started. And we can go back and forth a few times there to get those hips opened up. Make sure you run through these mobility drills and pair them with our strengthening exercises, and this will lead to a better golf swing.